Hello, everyone. Hope you all are keeping safe and doing well. We would like to thank you all for joining us for this week's Saturday webinar on top 5 mistakes of a new manager. My name is Saurabh and I'll be your host for today. From today's session, we'll learn about the top 5 mistakes of a new manager. If you're recently promoted to lead teams or you might either get coaching on how to manage teams, this webinar will give you a good direction on how to head and orient yourself in a manager role. Let me tell you about our today's speaker, Ajay. Ajay has been a part of us. Has been participating with us with Clavin from a long time now, and he is AVP delivery at Capital QA. His friend associate the terms change agent, idea man, and motivational to him, and he loves to have long conversations on software testing and life in general. That's interesting, Ajay. Today, we have people from across the world, from countries like India, Philippines, Singapore, Malaysia, UK, and more. And before I pass it on to Ajay to begin the session, I just wanted to give you a quick heads up on a few things to make sure that we all on the same page and we can collectively make it an interactive session. So we will be shooting polls at timely intervals. So be participative and engaging in that way. I'll just quickly shoot a couple of them right now to give you a sense of it. These will be fun polls and nothing too serious about. So just take it with a pinch of salt and for a little fun. Okay, so nice. So the lockdown hasn't affected a lot of people though. I mean, we can still see no one waking up a little back. Everyone mostly between 9 to 12. So that's interesting. Let's do another poll and see what insights do we get on this one. How many of you are attending this webinar in the night dress? Okay, so this is even interesting. I'm in the yes party, by the way. Even I'm in my night dress. So let's see. I mean, let's try to make most of the learning irrespective on what dresses we are in. But if you at during the course of the whole webinar, if you have any questions, just post it into the chat section, which you see on the right. And if at any given point you have any question and you'd like to speak to Ajay directly, just click on the raise hand button icon that you see on the panel, and we will unmute you, and you can shoot your question directly to Ajay. Keep a note of all your major questions as we will be doing a Q&A session towards the end of the webinar. So all the major questions you have, just keep a note of it, and we'll take it at once towards the end of the webinar. And without taking much time, I'll just quickly pass it on to Ajay. Ajay, over to you.
Thank you, Saurabh. Welcome everyone, and I'm just setting up the camera, and you should be able to see me now. Hello. So now let me share my screen as well. And you can just give me a thumbs up or a small yes if you're able to see the screen.
Yes, we can, Ajay.
Good. So we are all set. Can you hear me loud and clear?
Yeah, you're perfect. Perfectly
okay,
audible.
Good. So first of all, a big thank you to each one of you. I can't see you. I wish I could. So thanks a lot. You have actually given up you're actually giving me a part of your life. So this second is gone. It will not come back. So you're actually giving me a part of your life. So thank you very much. I'll try my best to do justice to the time you're spending here. If you have any questions, feel free to raise. We need not wait till the Q&A. As and when it's appropriate, I will answer those questions. And I I have come up with this presentation and this topic with my experience. Right, I've been a manager. I've the first time I was a manager, I was a new manager. And again, when I say new manager, it could be like a manager in a new context as well as a new manager. A manager for a new team is also a new manager, is what I think of. So there were a lot of mistakes I did. You must be knowing. If not, I'll tell you. I don't hesitate uh, in sharing my mistakes. In fact, I've written a book on 50 plus mistakes of my career, right? So I thought, okay, now that I'm leading teams, I'm heading delivery at Qapitol and other projects, uh, there's so many mistakes I did. And in fact, when I see other testers or when I go to clients, some of the clients or some other projects, I see the mistakes are repeating. So I thought, okay, what are those top 5 mistakes of a new manager? Maybe let's jot it down and then let's discuss. And which other platform then Clavent for webinars, right? So let's get started. So let's see what's there. Oh wow! So after the when did you wake up, when did you, what dress are you wearing, and all that polls, I also want to have a poll, right? So this is my poll, and I think Saurabh will put it on screen right away. Saurabh, can you please share the poll? So this
Yeah.
poll is about how many of you are managing teams in your day-to-day work. Uh, First is like, yes, I'm currently managing teams. It could be as small as 2 people. Next is like, no, I'm. So there are bugs with software, right? So with go to webinar viewer, as and when a poll comes or I click somewhere, it shifts. So next is I'm not interested. I would prefer individual contributor roles. And the third is I'm looking to manage teams in future. So please shoot your answers. Let's see what's the answers.
Ajay, I think the poll got closed for some reason.
Okay, can you relaunch?
Okay. Okay, I think the poll got closed for some reason. Ajay, as soon as it started, it kind of ended.
Okay, no problem. So we all are software testers and we know lot of workarounds. So you see the chat option, you can say yes, no, not interested, all the participants. Maybe we can give you 30 seconds. You can type in there yes, no, yes, no.
So the question is, how many of you manage teams on your day-to-day work?
Right, I can paste that question. How many of you are managing teams in your day-to-day work? How many of you are managing teams?
I'll do that.
Yes, no,
Okay, so we're getting
interested.
a lot of yeses. So we're getting a lot of most yeses, but a mix of no's and maybes as well. But yeah, I mean, mostly it's a yes, Ajay.
Okay, good. So that gives me some context about the audience. So you're
Yeah,
managing teams, so very good. I will be able to learn from you also in this webinar. And let's see. It is not an easy job managing people. So even when we say teams, one thing we forget is it's all about people, right? And managing people is the toughest job in this world. Ask your moms, right? So let's go. What's there? So some of the things I could jot down 20 things. That's what the slide limit was, and I did not want it to cross 2 slides. So these are the 20 things I could think of at the top of my mind a manager does or supposed to do. Let's go through each one of them. And if you have any questions, you can stop me and we could discuss. One, a manager is responsible to hire team members. What will a manager manage if there are no team members? So the manager has to groom the team, build the team from scratch sometimes inherit teams, sometimes leave, and then the manager has to recruit new members, right? So hiring team members, taking interviews, saying yes or no to the candidates, right? So those skills are also important, and those are some of the tasks that a manager is supposed to do. Next, responsible for projects deliverables. Sometimes the manager might not be totally hands-on, but then it is the manager's responsibility for delivery of the project. Say the project deadline is say 17th May, right? The team is working on it. The deliverables are delayed maybe, but then who will be asked? Who will be questioned? It's not, you don't ask the associate testers or the associate team members all the time, right? The accountability, the responsibility stops at the manager, because the stakeholders will not go and ask, okay, who are the 5 people who are working on this project, let me talk to them, why is it delayed? No, they'll say, you are the manager, you are supposed to do it, why did you delay, what happened, did you alert us before, if not, why, if yes, did you follow up, right? All these questions, all the tough questions, manager is supposed to answer, because manager is responsible for the project deliverables, right? Estimate the project duration even before the project starts. During the discussion phase itself, based on the deadline. Sometimes you have a deadline, sometimes there is no deadline. There's no deadline in the sense the customer doesn't know. Customer says, I want it ASAP, right? As soon as possible. Can you give me the answer, right? So in those cases, you'll have to estimate the project duration. You'll have to estimate and then give them saying, okay, maybe looks like with these complexity, if I have these many team members of this particular skill, and if I get this support from the other teams, maybe I should be able to release within this time, right? So estimate the project duration. Procure budget for team and projects. If you are a member of any team and you are, say you are part of a testing team, and so many times it feels like, oh, wish we could have 3 more test devices, we would have tested so easily, so quickly. I wish we could have procured that license, or why are we not getting additional members or something like that, right? For all of this, you need to think about money, and when money comes, you need to talk about finance teams for sure. There is some team which is responsible for approval of these budgets. It is not just your project, there are so many projects, all of this has to be taken into consideration, their quarterly budgets, right? Now you have to put your case forward, you as a manager have to put your case forward as to why you need that money, how will that help, what happens if you don't get that money, all of that. So this task of procuring budget for the team, for the projects, is your responsibility, right? Resolving conflicts. Now, interesting case. You can't say you both are adults, go figure out yourself. People will come with all sorts of complaints. This team member is not helping me. This team member is taking all the credit. This team member is not giving me any work. This team member is giving me a lot of work. That team is not supporting us with deliverables. We wanted this deliverable by yesterday, they are saying it will be delayed by a week. Based on that, we need to complete our testing during the weekends. All of this conflict resolution, who has to do? The manager has to do, right? If the team member gets busy in resolving this conflicts, who will do the actual work, right? So people think, oh, manager's role is so easy, all they have to do is ask for updates, approve leave requests, and then do a performance appraisal once a year. It's so easy. In the background, it is very difficult. You have to have an update, know every project's detail, you have to resolve conflicts, you have to estimate what will happen, or you have to think in terms of future. Okay, like foresee the future and say, okay, this team at this pace, they'll not finish their deliverables. So from which project, whom shall I relieve and then put in this project? Who can support in this skill? Oh, this person has resigned. Now that person will have to serve 2 months notice period, and then I'll have to hire a person. That person has 3 months notice period. So onboarding, when this person resigns and when the new person comes in, all of that, all of this goes in your mind, right? You'll have to talk to the HR, you'll have to talk to the sales people about the new projects, you'll have to talk to the marketing department, your development teams, right? So what does my manager do? He just attends meeting. It looks like a meeting from outside, but internally some of these tasks are what takes up a manager's key time, right? So next time you see your manager, say a big thank you, right? Like the Munabai picture, say a big thank you. We did not know what all you do, now we know, right? So arrange for resources. Now by resources, I don't mean people, like machines, tools, licenses, test data, right? All of that. Conduct performance appraisals. You would have a fixed budget. In that fixed budget, you have to give to all your team members. In that, someone would have a complaint, right? So resolving all of that, making sure everyone is happy, everyone is motivated, everyone understands the bigger picture, everyone understands that there is nothing personal between the manager and the team member. It is all because of the performance, right? Things like that. Approve leave requests. So what happens if everyone asks for a leave request at the same time, right? Whose leave will you approve first? Someone has asked for a leave like 4 months back, and suddenly, say for example, now it's May, right? Someone has requested for a leave in September. They have to go to their hometown for a festival. They have asked for a leave. And suddenly May, June, July, somewhere a new project comes. This person starts working, and then August it was supposed to be released. It doesn't get released. It gets extended to September, right? And then this person is the only one who knows it. But then September they have asked for a leave. September there is release deadline. Now what do? Do you cancel their leave request? Do you foresee that, oh, this person has asked for a leave in September, July, in July this project is not going as expected. Who is the backup? Do you think of all of those, right? So it is not just as simple as approve or reject a leave. If you reject, someone will come and ask, why did you reject my leave? Can I know the reason, right? All of that. Compliance, there will be a lot of compliance requests saying, okay, these many hours you need to learn every week, these many documents you must sign. For example, you must sign your NDA, right, which you do while joining. Say there is a change in the NDA, there is a change in the privacy terms, there is a new client onboards you as a tester, your manager has to sign, right, confidentiality, all of that. So you'll have to have a constant check on your machines about whether the right software is installed or not. Have you updated or not? Right? All audits. Have you taken part in the audits? Right? Is the details updated in the right systems or not? So ensure compliance. The manager has to ensure that all their team members and the manager themselves also have are compliant to the systems, right? And then passing messages. Sometimes the managers get messages from their managers, their stakeholders. It needs to be passed on. For example, lockdown, right? Now it's a lockdown. Everyone has to work from home. And then now the work from home policy is to be rolled out, is to be told or informed to every member that, okay, you can work from home now, or you need to work from home, right? So imagine the CEO or the topmost stakeholder cannot inform this message to every single member or ensure that it is passed on. It will take a lot of time. So instead what they do is they have their own like 10 or 20 managers, right? So they tell them, hey, you take care of each of your teams. It is easy, the load is reduced. So then the manager has to take care, like, okay, for my team I have like 16 members, let me tell them, okay, or maybe I have 3 leads under me, 3 leads take care of like 40 people, okay, I'll have to pass on this message, right? So that way. Discuss pay related issues, say during onboarding or after performance appraisal or during mid-year, someone says, um, I have some emergency, I'm doing good job, I've taken this additional responsibility, I can't wait till the performance appraisal. What do you think? I should get a hike now, right? How do you handle those requests? If you start saying yes to all such requests, then everyone will start asking, right? How do you maintain the confidentiality of such meetings, right? All of this is a manager's one of the tasks. Mediator across teams, like as I mentioned, the developer team, the marketing, the sales, the HR, uh, the QA, all of these teams, you will be a mediator if things are not working out, because each one is busy with their own task. Now, how do you as a mediator work with all these teams and get the problem solved? In fact, in simple terms, a manager is a problem solver. In fact, each one of us should be a problem solver. If we get our problem solving skills in place, right, most of the problems, most of these roles will do justice to whatever they have been given the roles for, right? You need to set processes. For example, what happens if a new joinee joins, right? Who takes care of their onboarding? What courses should they do as soon as they are in office, right? What happens when they are, say, onboarded to a new project, right? What happens when a project gets over? What happens when a person comes on bench after completing a project? All of these, without processes, without standards, you will be complained against, saying, oh, you did partiality to that person. That person, after finishing the project, within 3 days got a new project. I did not get a new project. Why is that? Because partiality, right? So those kind of complaints will come if there are no processes. So you are the person who has to think through all of these and set processes. You'll have to groom your successor. Now, why do you need to groom your successor? Teams grow, projects come and go, then the company grows. You can't be managing teams of, say, like 100 people, right? You can't pay attention. The attention level you would pay to, say, a 10-member team will be very different to when the team size increases to say 50, right? In the 10-member team, you know everyone, their likes, dislikes, uh, mood swings, if you could say, all of that you would know. In 50 people, hardly you would get time, okay, just to say hi. If you said hi to a person in a month, once a month, that's a big deal, right? So you need to groom your successor. They will take care of the other 40, right? Things like that. You need to take strategic decisions with management team. Sometimes there are lots of projects, you don't have people. Would you hire contracts or would you hire permanents? What if you hired and then you don't get the projects? People will be on bench. Do you fire them, or do you give them internal tasks? Or there are some projects which need constant supply of people, like there's always a need for people. Now, how do you train the people on bench for those projects? Who trains them? Do you pay external trainers? All these decisions, right? The management has like 20,000 feet idea of these projects. You are the one who knows like maybe 5,000 feet idea, right? The team leads are like at 2,000 feet. So you get all of these information from everyone, and then you provide this information to your stakeholders, to your management. You help in that decision making, right? So that is also a key task of a manager. Sometimes you need to convey bad news. There are signals. You could, in the one-on-one meetings, say every month or once 2 weeks, right? Or in high cases, once a week, where you keep saying about the performance, good, 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 good. And then after 10 months, you say you're fired because of your performance. They'll have proof that you told good, 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 good. Then how come suddenly I'm fired, right? So you need to again decide, how do you frame this bad news, right? How do you share that? Someone might be expecting 25% hike. Then because of market situation, you can give only, say, 6% hike, right? Some, see, when there is a difference between expectation and reality, problem occurs. This is what Jerry Weinberg says, right? So now person is expecting 25% and then there is 6%. Big difference between expectation and reality. Problem. Solve the problem, right? That way. You can't direct all the problems to your manager. Your manager will ask, if you are redirecting all your problems to me, then why have I hired you? I could handle the team on my own, right? The reason why I have hired you is to take some load out of me, handle this load. So not just good news you need to convey, you'll have to convey some bad news also. Because if you don't take actions on the people who are not performing, the people who are performing will lose interest, right? So that is a key issue. Next is you need to boost your team morale. Weekend after weekend, team is working. Release after release, continuous. How do you ensure the team morale? First of all, why do you let your team work weekend after weekend? If it is so important, then how do you compensate? Is it through money? Is it through comp offs? Or do you talk to them? Do you explain the reason? Do you negotiate with the client? Do you negotiate with the other stakeholders the importance? Because of buggy builds, you are supposed to test so much. So do you negotiate? Do you go and complain? Do you escalate the reason why those buggy builds are in place first? Right? You will have to fix those processes. You can't always ask your team to work on weekends. They'll quit. Forget quitting. They'll burn out. The quality of work will be totally impacted, and then it is a cycle. Because of low quality of work, there'll be more work. Because of more work, again there'll be low quality of work. So don't let that vicious cycle start, right? You will have to, as I told you, you'll have to plan training, learning goals for all of your employees, all of your team members. When by when, what should they learn? What are their interests? What do they want to learn? What do you want them to learn? Big difference. Company wants people of, say, mobile automation skills. Okay, they want to learn about IoT. Big difference between these two. Now, how will you negotiate? Right? How will you communicate? How will you ensure that their needs are also met and your needs are also met? Right? And then you can't just say, okay, go learn and come. Some people are self starters, they'll go and learn. Sometimes what you'll have to do is, after office hours, you'll have to set calls between the close friends, maybe 8 to 9. And then you might have to call guest lecturers and then have some small meetings, right? So those kind of sessions you might want to have. You need to represent teams. Again, as I told, when managers ask for information, when managers want some information, you can't say, okay, those people are the ones who are working on the project, please go and ask them. You can't expose your manager to the 15 team members. You'll have to represent the team, get the info from the team members, and then project it accordingly. You should be ready to answer the NLQ, next logical question, right? So many times I've seen people, um, they come up with information that, okay, we cannot release this weekend. That's it. That's all. It will be there in the email. Then you will have to reply, can you please share why? Then they'll say, we are not completed testing. One more email, can you please share what is the plan? How will you finish by next week at least? How will this delay impact? So you will come up with all those questions, right? So the next logical question, don't wait for someone to ask, you yourself answer it, right? And then you sometimes you'll have to take up new projects. The new projects, the team members are not yet ready. You will have to understand the project. You will have to streamline the process, and then be ready for the new members to come in, join, and then get started on the project. So you can't ask your team members because they're already working on some other projects. In the last phase, maybe in the last week of release, post production release testing is going on, last week of this project and all of that. But then here is a new project, a new prospect, a new client. They are ready to give KT, the knowledge transfer, right? They are ready to give. That is where you need someone to understand. That is where you need someone to understand the ecosystem, ask relevant questions, take all the required data information, and then give that back to the teams once they're ready to onboard, right? All of these, you can't say, no, 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 my team is not ready, because you lose a project, right? So all of these things a manager does or supposed to do. And then the final line, and be hands-on as and when necessary. Suddenly 2 members are on leave, one member got stuck, didn't get a return ticket from, say, Hyderabad to Bangalore, the other member is not well. Now what do? You will have to test. Go get your hands dirty. Go test, right? So that means you need to, like, you, of course, you need to be a super quick learner. You go there, you assess the situation, get on calls with the people, and then get started. right? Nothing, no one can stop you. Nothing should stop you. You can't say my team is not there, I can't do. No, you, of course you will communicate that, but at the same time you can't let the work stay, right? You'll have to continue with the work, right? So these are some of the things that a manager does or supposed to do. There are a lot more things, right? Okay, so any questions till now? So let me check. This says please
Yeah, Ajay,
post
we
all
have
your questions here.
question. We have Ajay question. We have question from Siddharth. He's asking what is the difference between a manager and a leader. And Siddharth, I've unmuted you in case you had a follow-up question on the
Sorry, I
same.
lost the last thing.
His question is, what is the difference between a manager and a leader? And I've
Okay,
unmuted Siddharth, so if he has any follow-up questions to the same, then that can be taken up.
okay. Hi Siddharth.
Ajay.
Good. So you're a manager. You manage teams.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So manager, if you see, is just a role. It's like a responsibility, right? It's like how you have someone like a chef, a driver, right? Um, a magician. It's a role. Manager is a role given to a person. A manager needs to be a leader to be a good manager. Leadership is like a skill. Attention to detail is required for a chef, right? Patience is required for a chef. So same way, leadership is required for a manager. By leader, you must know by now saying solves problems, leads from the front, takes decisions, thinks team first, me later, right? All of those are the skills. So those skills a manager needs to have to lead teams effectively. So if you see what is the difference, manager is a role, leadership is a skill. So uh, anyone can be a leader. They don't need a role, but a good manager, a good role, a good manager, whoever has the manager role, needs to have these leadership skills. I've not seen a good manager who is not a good leader, but all good leaders could become good managers, right?
Does
Any
that
other
answer
question?
your Siddharth? We have a couple of
Thank
more
you, Ajay.
questions.
Sure. Vikram, how to handle a person who is outside, who is making dispute in internal team? Ah, good. Cut the triggers. So what is a trigger? What is that communication point, or how is that person interacting with your team, or why is that person interacting with your team? Talk to that. Sometimes you can take help of their managers. Hey, you know what, your team member is disturbing my team culture. Tell that. Ask why do they need, why does that person need to talk to your team, right? Ask them, and then get that resolved. And sometimes it just needs an informal chat saying, hey, you know what, whatever you're doing I appreciate, but then it is not helping my team culture. Can you please not do this? Ask them politely. They will feel that okay, they are in control, they are taking the decision of not interacting with your team. So when you say people to do something, they will not do. When you ask them, can you do this, it is like you are giving them the permission, you are giving them the upper hand. Then they'll think, oh, okay, I am the one who is taking the decision, of course I'll not do. Yeah, right. Things like that. Question from Anil, does it mean that being technical can only make you a good manager? No, being technical or like knowing technology, able to do hands-on work is one of the skills a manager needs to have. You saw that talking to people, negotiating with people, thinking about the future, foreseeing, planning, strategic decision making, problem solving, all of these skills are also required, right? So it is not like one skill, or give me like five skills that will make a good manager. There's like multiple skills. Multiple skills. Which skill is important? Uh, Based on the context, the skill that is important changes. Okay, any other questions?
Okay, we have a lot of questions coming in, Ajay. So I'll
Shoot,
just
shoot. Maybe two of
quickly.
them.
So Sarada, there you go. There's one from Sarada.
Sarda.
She's asking how to handle personal disputes between team members.
I don't see that. Where are you posting in the chat, right?
Oh, I'm so sorry. Give me 1 second. So the question is how to handle
Okay. How to
disputes
handle
between.
personal disputes between team members? Talk to them individually and then talk to both of them in the same room. When you ask individually, you'll get to know each one's opinion. And when you talk in front, like you need to highlight why both of them are important for the team and why both might need each other, right? See, again, why does personal disputes come? Things like difference between expectation and reality. When there is expectation difference between expectation and reality, focus on what the things which you can control, right? And then you ask them to focus on the things which they can control, and then slowly you can negotiate, right? I expected this. Okay, fine. Did you communicate that? I expected in Excel. She always sends me in CSV. Okay, no one had told her to send her in Excel. She always sends CSV, right? So talk to them. Communication is the key. If you don't communicate, see, we humans are brilliant, okay, but then we have still not reached that level where we can understand what's going on in the other person's mind. We need to communicate. That's the beauty. And the sad part with communication is also that things or words might get misinterpreted. I'll give you an example. Uh, why did you send in Excel versus why did you send in Excel versus why did you send in Excel? Big difference. When I emphasize why did you send in Excel, I'm okay with you sending, but I expected a different format. Why did you send in Excel? Excel is okay, but why did you send, right? Versus why did you send in Excel? Meaning I'm okay receiving in Excel, but why did you send? I wanted that person to send. Interpretation of the words. Which Jerry Weinberg again says, Mary had a little lamb heuristic. Go read about it. You will understand. First, resolve disputes in terms of expectation and reality. Second, communicate. In communication also, be careful about misinterpretations. I have a link about how communication can be misinterpreted and 3 ways to solve problems on Sticky Minds. You can search by my name on Sticky Minds. You will get the articles links. Okay, next there are two more questions. Oh, there are many questions. Okay,
Yeah, we are
so
getting flooded with questions there. So you need to make sure that how do you really want to take it? You want to take it in intervals so that really don't disrupt the flow of your
uh,
presentation.
there is no flow as such, Saurabh. Let's take the questions and we'll
Then,
quickly wrap it up.
so
How should a
let's. I
manager
mean, we have.
adapt to the let me finish these questions. How should a manager adapt to the current scenario of work from home when there are no face-to-face interactions? Video calls. There's no face-to-face interaction. Do a video call. WhatsApp video call is also okay. See, why do you need a face-to-face interaction? You want to see what the person is saying is really true or not. Is that, or you are actually caring and you want to know, right? Either ways, do a video call.
Maybe the
As a
another
man,
dimension to the maybe Ajay is how do we really bring those elements of a physical conversation into a video call? How do we really imbibe them all into a video call culture where which we are not really used to because the whole concept of workplace is getting changed in current scenario.
correct. So think of the workplace. What do? You don't just talk only work, right? You also do a lot of other things. You do gossip. You do take a coffee break. There are tools for virtual coffee breaks. Take that. Play games, play online games, uh, get to know the person more, do fun activities. The more fun activities, the more you know about the person, that is when you will be able to remove that barrier, like, oh no, I need a face-to-face interaction, right? See, work is going on, even if there is work from home, right? It is going at slow pace or fast pace or longer duration or shorter duration, work is going on. What is missing is you are missing that office feel. To get that office feel, there are games. Connect online. Don't always go saying, okay, I want an update, let's meet. Just for chit chat, let's meet. What was the last movie you saw in this lockdown? I saw this movie. And as a manager, if you start accepting your failures, your mistakes, the team will feel that, oh, manager bhi galti kar sakta hai. Manager also can make mistakes, so they will also open up. If you go as, I am the manager, I am always right, then they will not tell everything and everything to you. They'll just tell what is required, half truth. You will get the half truth. In front of your manager, full truth will come out, saying, project, we have told 100 times project cannot be released on time, our manager forced us. That's all, right? So don't just talk work, talk personal things also, make friends.
Yeah, makes sense.
uh, okay, I keep losing. Okay, personal disputes is done, no face to face is done. As a manager, how to analyze if the team member is looking for a job and make team member motivated to stay? In your one-on-ones, that is what you need to ask, not like, are you looking out? Things like, what what stops you from giving your 100%? They'll say money. Okay, fine, so that means that person needs money. Some people will say challenging work is missing. Okay, fine. Some people will say, I don't like managerial work, I want individual contributor. Some people say, I want work in this technology. So ask, talk, make notes, think, discuss, and then you will know when the person is ready to leave and when the person is like looking up, right? And how to make team member motivated to stay? Ask them what motivates and give it to them. When some managers don't talk with team and mostly work on FYI mode, how to handle?
Yeah, so
If
this
you
is a
like your
Kumar Ajay, and I've unmuted him if he has any follow-up question. So he's on the line
Sure,
anyway.
sure.
Yeah, please take it.
Okay. You are saying they are just giving you information, right? And some managers don't talk with team. See, don't wait for a manager to set up one-on-one. You have a meeting, right? You set up a one-on-one, asking, can I get your 30 minutes? I want to talk to you. If they say no again and again, 2-3 times, then maybe think about it. If everything else is good, stick to the company. If you have other problems also, maybe it's a time to change the teams, the manager, not the company as such. uh, Maybe that manager is also new, right? They also need help, so you tell them, you give feedback to the manager. It's not always that manager has to give you feedback. You give feedback to the manager. Hey, you know what, manager, uh, can you not just give me information? You're doing a great job giving me information, but I need more. I need support from you, I need help from you. I am lost. Why do you give me information only at the last time? Why are you working on FYI mode? Can we work in the friends mode, right? Ask. There is no harm. If you don't ask, the answer is always no. Just like a love, right? If you don't ask, the answer is always no. Ask. Sai Dinesh, I don't want to become a manager down the line for a couple of years, but there is no scope for new manager. How to convey this to my manager, or should I quit company, search for manager role? Oh, good. You want to become a manager, but there is no scope, right? Pick up problems. Okay. Pick up the problems of your manager, solve them, and then lead them, saying you become that expert in solving that problem. So automatically you will be given the task. You can show to the manager that, hey, you know what, see, I've picked up this task, I've grown in this role. And also convey that, convey your interest that you want to become a manager. If people get to know, then they are happy, right? and they will work on it. How to handle a team
Second
member
one,
with pessimistic?
very interesting, Ajay. It says, should I convey this to manager? Should I quit company to search for another manager role? So
Convey it to
how
manager.
should,
Say first.
yeah, yeah, then,
Okay.
okay, let's
How to
next.
handle a team member with pessimistic thoughts which makes other members weak in their mindset? Talk to them. Take them individually. Talk to them. Tell their good points. When was the last time you appreciated that person? Appreciate. You will see a difference in their approach. Okay. How many more questions? 2, 3, 4. 3 questions. Okay. We'll quickly finish this and then go to slides. What if an employee wants to take his manager's position from day one? See, wishing is okay. Isn't it like too much? Right? Let's stick to practical things. Not by regular time-bound process, but taking short routes. If the short route is a good route, is a skill-based route, that's good. You will be noticed anyways, right? If you just want to be a manager because you want to be a manager, sorry, you will fall flat on your face. You will embarrass yourself and you will close the managerial route for a long time. What should the manager do if employee is adamant and not vocal about it? Talk, not listening, take help of HR, convince. If not, things are not working out. Now, what do you do when your things are not working out? Right? You break up. So tell that. How do we develop understanding what kind of mistake is okay to make being a manager? Uh, have good mentors. Have good mentors. Talk to them. Seniors in the company, they would know what kind of mistakes were tolerated, what kind of mistakes were not tolerated. Ask hypothetical questions. If this mistake happens, what would happen? Right? So you will get to know that vibe of okay, what is okay and what is not okay. As a lead or individual contributor, I know all details of project, but when I become manager, I'm not hands-on. Hence, having fear of losing technology and become irrelevant in market. How to handle this fear? Good. You're actually accepting that it's a fear, right? Accepting a fear is the first step to remove that fear. Now that you've accepted, see, if you're handling 5 projects, no one stops you from, keeping your hands dirty on the 6th project on your own, like outside work and things like that. And as a manager, after some time, you're not required or most of the times forced to do hands-on or solve hands-on. See, if you keep solving hands-on people, then will the other members progress? The 2 year, 3 years. See, they can't take strategic decisions. Okay, you can do hands-on also. You can take strategic decisions also. If you do hands-on, can they do this job? No, right? So let them do, and don't fear. There's a lot to play in the managerial battlefield also. Okay, good.
Right.
So we have crossed all questions, and let's quickly go to the slides now.
We have a couple of questions. We'll take it at the end. We have
Sure,
questions from
sure.
Trisha and Milan, which we'll take at the end. And Abhijit
So I
would like
think
to.
I answered Trisha and Milan's question now. No?
Okay.
Okay.
Perfect.
Good. So now think of all the good managers you worked with. You loved working with your manager if they listened to you. Correct? See, think, oh, who is that manager that comes to your mind? Is like, oh wow, that manager was awesome, man. Or like my current manager is awesome. They will do some of these. They listen to you. They treat you as a human first. They respect you. They think about your career, not just their job. Right? They think about your career. Hey, you know what? You're doing the same job for like last 6 months. Do you want to change your technology? Do you want to upgrade? Do you want to learn these new skills? They think about you. They guide you. Hey, don't do that mistake. Oh, you're doing this well. Continue that. They give you the right projects. Now you know what to do as a new manager, right? Do all of these with your members. Don't expect anything from your team members. Just do this. But things don't go as planned most of the times. So these things come up. Ego, partiality. Your own team member is now a manager. You feel bad. Your manager is giving their work, their work to you. They don't care about you. They're always busy. They micromanage everything they want to know. Lot of meetings. All the low priority work, they give it to you. They steal the credit. You do the work, they get the credit. Personality change. He was so friendly, she was so friendly before being a manager. Now I don't know what happened. Full personality change. Abusive. No knowledge about what I'm doing. Too bossy. False promises. These are some of the things that happen when and you don't feel good about it, right? So let's go to the mistakes. First mistake: no attention to the three P's. What are the P's? First P is the purpose. Everyone in the team is working on their own work. No one knows why we are doing what we are doing. What is that big goal we are trying to achieve as a team? No one has a clue. They are all working on "Ye mera kaam hai, this is my work, let me finish, go home." Right? That means purpose is lacking. The whole team lacks a purpose. Why are we as a team? Right? Process. When things are not working as expected, full chaos, right? Full disturbances. Should I listen to them or should I do my own? Right? No, there's no document, there's no process. Next, people. Team is not skilled. Someone came for automation. They have been put on functional testing, that too on mobile functional testing, which they have never done. Someone who is very good at mobile functional testing, they are put on mobile automation, they have never done. The skill set is not matching to the task. So these are the mistakes that people do. First mistake: purpose, process, people. Take care of these three, 60% of your problems are solved as a manager. How do you solve that? Set these three right: purpose, people, and process. How do you set the purpose right? What would be the goal for your team? Discuss with your manager. You as a manager, discuss with your manager what are they expecting from this team? Why was this team set up? What were the goals? Fulfill them. And let everyone in the team know about this discussion and the points that came on. So this way everyone knows, okay, my team is responsible for 8% of the annual revenue. So when you know a goal, you know where to hit. If you don't know where the goal is, you're just running around, you'll get tired, right? Think about it. People, know your people. Strengths, weakness, personality, style, what they like, what they don't like, when they get angry, what are they afraid of, what do they want to do in life, why did they come here, what do they want to achieve in the next 6 months, all of that. Once you know that, then you know, oh, you were telling you want to do performance testing, right? Oh, or you wanted to do security testing being in Chennai. Okay, I'll give you that, right? So how do you, once you know that, right, then it will be very easy to give you that. Okay, if you don't know, then you'll be randomly picking. Okay, Amar, Akbar, Anthony, come. Amar will take performance, Akbar will take security, Anthony will take automation. That will happen. If you know exactly, then you'll say, oh, okay, Amar always wanted automation. Let us give that, right? Things like that. So it is not just again like someone wants, you give it, right? You ask them, do you have the skill set? Then they will go work on it. So you know you are giving them a purpose. So they will go work on it, and then everything will be fulfilled. So everyone is in alignment. Next, process. Again, tomorrow you are not there, or maybe for 10 days you are on a vacation. Will everything be as smooth as it is today? If yes, you're doing a great job, right? Some people say, oh, I need to have full control. If I am not there, things should go haywire. No, boss, that's not the right way, right attitude to work as a manager. You should have a process. Even without you, everyone should know what to do. Okay, if there's a customer complaint, who should reply, what should be the reply, how should that be handled, all of that should be documented, or at least everyone should be aware of it. Unless you document, misinterpretation chances are high. Even with document, the chances are there, but chances are less compared to without documentation. So set these three things, you'll do well. So this is a quick poll. When was the last time you appreciated your team members? Last week, last month, don't remember.
Results are on the screen, Ajay.
Okay. So what scares me is 26 plus 5, 31 plus 10, 41. 41% last month or don't remember. How will you feel if you don't get that appreciation? First thing you do today is Saturday, right? Sunday, you take your time, write nice email. What are the three things that your team members did well? Be specific. Don't just say you're a great team member. We love working with you. No, no, no. All that is like, beating the bush. Be very specific. This particular thing you do, we appreciate. This particular action of yours, we would love to emulate, right? So that way, that will help. So they will say, oh, my manager is noticing all of this, and they are appreciating. Don't always catch people doing wrong things. Gotcha, I caught you. No, do well done. Well done. There is a book called Whale, WHALE, Well Done. Well done. Follow that, not gotcha. Okay. So you'll do good if you appreciate your team members. Next mistake is micromanaging. You're a brilliant hands-on performer. Okay. You still are a brilliant hands-on performer. No one can beat you. Now you want to ensure that quality level is maintained by your team members also. So you want to see, okay, what are you doing? Oh, which test data you are using? Oh, how are you recording your screen? Okay, how are you checking your DB? Oh, which SQL query are you using? Don't do that. Worst thing for someone is when they know the task and someone else is telling. How will you feel if your brain is shut off and only your hands are working? Someone else is giving the directions and you are just to follow. It will be very irritating. You will feel, why am I here? You could hire someone 8th standard, 9th standard English knowing person, student, and they'll do the work, right? You're not doing a data entry job, because that is also difficult. That is another story. Okay. You want to think, you want to come up with that solution, you want to model that solution, you want to solve, you want to enjoy that, you want to have that pleasure of, yes, I cracked it, right? So how will that happen if a manager goes and micromanages? So if you're a manager, tell them deadline, tell them a task, tell them I'm open for review anytime, and in between have reviews. Not every time, not every second, not every minute. Let them make mistakes. If you don't allow them to make mistakes, that is the biggest mistake you are making. Okay, so let them make mistakes. So how to get rid of the micromanaging habit? Set goals, make them accountable. See, boss, you do well, you get the credit. You do bad, you will get the blasting. Follow 10% review 90% rule, meaning ask them to show it to you after 10% work is completed. You review it and then let them do the remaining 90%. I am so surprised even today, so many people follow 90% complete, review 10% remaining. That rule they follow. They'll finish 90% of work, then they'll come to manager. Manager, how is this Excel? They will say, I asked you to do in PPT. Do, remove everything, come do in PPT. Instead, you do 10% work in 10% of time of the deadline. Okay, of the total duration, take 10% of the time, do 10% of the work, go for review. Whatever changes need to be done, if it is done now, it is less costly. Okay, once that is done, then you are free to do the other 90%. Right, follow this approach. Review after 10% instead of after 90% of work is done. You check their skills, you show them once. Also, be ready to surprised. Be ready to be surprised, meaning sometimes the new folks have good ideas, new ideas, which will surprise you. Oh, this can be done like this also, right? So unless you give them the opportunity to show something, to showcase their work, they will also feel demotivated. And when they show their work, they'll feel like, oh, okay, see, now I showed. You know what? I was the one who showed my manager this thing, right? So let them also enjoy this thing. And give away control. The more control you give away, the team will progress. And you also will be happy. The team will be happy. Oh, but what if things go wrong? That is where that review thing is coming, right? That will help you. Do not micromanage all tasks. Micromanage. As a manager, I'm telling you, micromanage. Not all tasks. Some key critical tasks you will know. If this goes wrong, your job will go. That kind of task, micromanage. Okay. By giving away the power and by not micromanaging all other tasks, you will know who is capable of what kind of quality. Okay, if you give to Supriya, she will give like 60% quality. If you give to Swati, she will give 85% of quality. You will know that. Okay, if you always micromanage, it is your brain that is what is going into action. So how will you know who will do what? Okay, so don't micromanage all the tasks, but micromanage. Mistake 3, partiality. According to you, you are fair and transparent, but the team feels that you are partial. What to do? Big mistake, no? Let's see how to correct it. Let process take over. It should be like a flow chart. If this happens, do this. If this doesn't happen, then do that. Okay, you are not bringing your perspective. It is a process which is agreed upon by everyone. Think in terms of other point of view. What will the other person think about this? Friendship and professionalism as separate as possible during the work hours. Outside work hours, both of you sit together, drink, party, nothing to worry. During work hours, difference between professionalism and friendship. Okay, take time to process decisions. There is no hurry. Somehow we have been raised like this. The one who gives the quick answer gets appreciation, not the right answer. Quick answer. What is 5 plus 6 or 12? Okay. Hey, that's wrong, man. No, but I gave answer quickly. No, right? That is what we have been appreciated for. So now also we are in that habit. Okay, when will you finish? Tomorrow, sir. What? What will you finish? Whatever you are saying. Do you know what it is? And no, sir. Then how will you finish tomorrow? But I will finish, no, sir, tomorrow. Don't do all of that. Give them time to take process decisions. You also take time to process decisions. Once you tell something, don't repent. Okay, my biology teacher used to say, never repent about what you did. Right? Do things in such a way that you don't repent about it in the future. Right? Brilliant teachers in our time. Be consistent. Okay. If you say no to leave for someone, same rule you should apply for someone else also. You know what are the levels of partiality? Boy, girl, married, unmarried, bachelor, same city, other city, someone who works late night, someone who works. There's so many things you can, the partiality might come more unknowingly also. Language, right? Don't do all of that. Set process, discuss with team, and be transparent about it. Okay, so then people will not complain about partiality. Mistake 4. Someone asked, I want to be hands-on. If I become a manager, I will lose. This is the other part of it. I will not do hands-on. I am a manager. No, no, no. Don't be like that. Sometimes, teams are stuck. Teams don't know what to do. They don't have that experience of failing. Okay, so they don't know what to do. So they need your help, support. So those are the times where you need to get your hands dirty and be hands-on. You can't say I'm a manager. Okay, I will not do. I will just give me updates. Do it quickly. Do it quickly. You can't say nothing will help. You have to get down. Do. You have to see. If you keep saying solve it quickly, solution will not come. You have to understand why they are taking so much time. Okay, simply saying, oh, take help from Google and solve it. No, it's not so easy, boss. This is knowledge work. You'll have to think calmly. You have to think of 100 things. You can't say like, okay, I'll solve it quick and dirty fix. It will break in production. Okay, so if that thing happens, who will take responsibility? Okay, so think aram say, and when it comes to hands-on, be hands-on. For being hands-on, practice. So these are some of the things which will help you. Take demo. Take frequent demo of from your team about what has happened, about the product. Okay, so you will know. Oh, okay. This is after this screen. This will come. This will happen. Oh, okay. Data is stored in that DB in this format. Right. So take the demo. Upskill yourself if required. And constant review. Take constant review from your people, like, okay, how can I help you? Where do you need help? You see, with your experience, what you can always do is ask the right questions. You can give a trigger question. Have you thought about this? That will give them idea. Oh, okay, good. My manager will ask such question. Next time they will implement that. That's how you improve the team. When you improve the team to the next level and next level and next level, that is when you also can grow from manager to senior manager to next level to next level and next level. If you are stuck saying, no, I own this project, I know in and out of this project, you will be with that project only. If that is your dream, know 101% about that project and stay there. If you want to manage multiple projects and grow further in your career, you should groom leaders. Okay, you should groom the next level. So last point, get them to record or document for your reference and for the new joinees reference also. So that way it will help. Then a quick poll here, right? How many meetings did you attend last week with your manager? 0, 3 or less, or more than 3? Please answer. So we'll close poll quickly. More than 3 meetings with your manager in last 1 week. It is, I don't know what to say. Things like give them what they want. No, why do you wait for a meeting? Okay, and 0 meetings. Don't wait for your manager to set up a meeting. Talk to them. Okay? So let's see what's next. Last mistake. Oh, I'm a manager, new manager. I should change something. Big problem with people. Oh, if you're given a role, give what is that? In charge of colony, they'll change something. I am now in charge. I should do something, right? Same way, I'm a manager now. I should change something. Why? Don't get into that habit. Things that are working fine need not be changed. You know the goalkeeper in football, right? The highest success rate of preventing a goal is when the goalkeeper stands still. Usually, you see the goalkeeper during a penalty shootout. Usually, the goalkeeper dives right or left, right? One of the sides, the goalkeeper dives as soon as the penalty shooter comes and starts, is about to kick. There is statistics to prove that if the goalkeeper just stood, they would save a lot of goals compared to diving right or left. But then what will people say if they stood and then a goal goes? At least they should have tried. No, at least they should have dived to the right. At least they should have dived to the left. See that goalkeeper standing like a wall, right? Because of public perception, we do such mistakes. I should change something. Don't do that. Don't measure by acts, measure by results. So the solution is think, measure by results. Now when I say results, don't do saying, oh, this person did 10 tasks, so this person is more important compared to other testers. No, think by outputs, measure by outputs. In the one-on-ones, you ask what is going on well, and whatever is going on well, make notes and don't change that. Okay, and so when you know that these things are good, these things are helping, don't change that. And the things which are not working well, there you can focus and change. So one formula which I read from the book called The Success Principles by Jack Canfield. So in that, the author says event plus response is equal to outcome. Event you can't change. Event happens, right? COVID happened, right? Outcome mostly you can't change. What you could change is the response. Based on the response, the outcome will change. Okay, so focus on the response, and then think how you can improve the team in the long run. Instead of saying I want to change everything, focus on key things which will help everyone, and there you can focus, right? So I'm almost at the end, so let me take the questions quickly. So
Yeah. We have questions.
what to do when the manager is not interested in the work, since his plan down the line is quitting IT? See, manager is quitting, right? You are not quitting, and it is demotivating the entire team. Event is manager quitting. Your response is demotivation. Why? Manager is quitting. No, think of it as an opportunity for one of you to become manager. So start leading the team. Okay, don't get demotivated by such things. Showing partiality between team members. They are showing partiality. You don't take it to heart. You don't need to like someone to work with them. That is the first rule you need to understand. You don't need to like someone to work with them. Okay, you do your work, you focus on your skills. Good things will be highlighted automatically by everyone. Two times your manager might not take your name in the quarterly awards meeting, but then your dev team will notice, your other stakeholders will notice, the other managers will notice, and slowly name will come up. See, what can you control? You can't control others taking your name for the awards. You can focus on your work. Be happy with your work. Okay. And sometimes it's okay to change managers. As a lead, it's difficult to maintain an equilibrium between team and management. I mean the higher leadership. Though the team is working well, higher management always have something more. How to balance this? Give them stories of why more pressure will be equivalent to killing the golden egg. More pressure means you will get what you want, but at a lower quality, and then it will cascade to production. More bugs will come, quality will be reduced, we'll lose customers, we'll have to pay fines. Do you want all that, sir? No, no. That's why, please let me handle my team. Or you say okay to them, you do what you want to do with the team. Okay, you need not tell everything to your higher management. What kind of process? In order to avoid partiality, meaning uh, to apply leave, it should be requested 3 weeks before the leave date. That is the process everyone agrees upon. If someone comes to meeting late, they will take notes, or they'll have to take notes for the next 3 meetings. Something that process, if you said, then what will happen? Every time you'll not call Suresh, you take the meeting notes. Suresh will think, others will think, Ramesh will think, oh, every time Suresh only calls. That will happen. That will not happen, right? That process. Or you can set a process saying the minute taker will be based on alphabetic, right? Things like that. What else? 1 second. Next question we have: how about pairing up with the team members and try to solve problems? Show that you care. Of course, that is in a way, you know that you are also hands-on. You also learn about the product, and at the same time, 1 second. You also know that you are hands-on. The team also knows that you are skilled enough, and you will also learn from them. So that way, you stay hands-on. At the same time, you're ready to work in their place when the need arises. uh, and though you are a manager, you get to know the inside details, right? Any other questions?
Not really. Abhijit wanted to shoot a question to you, so I'll just unmute him. Abhijit, can you
Yeah,
repeat
I
your
can
question?
see that. Hi Ajay, can you hear me?
Yes, Abhijit, loud and clear.
Hi Ajay, can you hear? Yeah. So this is in background to two things that you shared. One is that slide where you outline 20 things as attributes of a manager, and then one advisory where you can give feedback to the manager. So in your experience, have you seen managers creating the safe environment where people can voice their opinions without fear of retribution? Because in some organizations, they do a skip level meeting where you can talk to your manager's manager directly to figure out, where senior leadership tries to figure out how well is your manager doing the things. So do you think in your experience, you found managers creating the safe environment where you can, voice your mind without the fear of retribution? Because
Right.
sometimes that kills innovation very badly.
Right. So am I am actually encouraging you as a manager to ask your team members to give feedback, rather than saying, okay, is there an environment for your team members to talk to your manager, right? So I'm saying, you as a manager, go talk to your team members, ask them like, hey, this is my one-on-one. I want to talk to you to know about my performance, what things I should change and what things I shouldn't change. Can you give me feedback? I'm not here to tell you what you should do. I am here to ask you what I should do. Right? You as a manager, you do that. Don't worry about your manager and all of that. See what happens when you ask your team member saying, "Can you tell me what I should change?" They'll be like first a shock because no manager would have asked saying, "Okay, what should I change?"
No,
Right? They'll always come
sorry to
and
interrupt there. Sorry to yeah, sorry to interrupt there. It is not the skip level meeting that I'm talking about. It is not me driving it. It is the organization's culture or the organization's HR process which is driving it. So when you say that
okay.
go to your manager and start, you have that window to give him a feedback. The first apprehension that comes to one's mind is that if I give him feedback, will it be devoid of any retribution? Because that is one thing which is seen up in meetings as well. That if I open up, what happens later on? So because that safe
So
environment, I believe is important to foster innovation. So in your experience, have you seen managers creating this safe environment? That was my question.
So, okay. So in the current company I work for, it is not just because I'm working there, I'm telling this, but I really love what's happening there. Everyone is free to talk to anyone. Uh, and there is no issue. It is like, it's like a kind of a flat hierarchy, you can say. It's just that, okay, to fulfill the goal, what is needed, let's do it. Anyone can come and give feedback to anyone, either ways, right? It's just, we are just a ping away. All of us are on Slack and it is just a ping away, right? So yeah, of course you need to create that safe environment. If you are worried that okay, you will be reprimanded later about talking about your manager, or talking to your manager directly, if you are worried about it, then that's a bigger problem to solve rather than having saying, okay, whom can I go talk to, right? So first we need to set that process right. Sometimes it is not under our control. um, it is the company's policy. Imagine working for a manager who doesn't like to get feedback. What does it tell you about that manager and the company, right? Do you really want to work there, right? Think about it. So I have a few more
Yeah.
questions.
Thanks,
I have
Ajay.
seen, yeah, thank you. I've seen manager asking what is the new innovation the team done every quarter apart from the project work, without mentioning what kind of innovation. How does team member get to know? Good question. You should ask your manager. To get the real answer, you should ask the manager. Can you give me examples of innovation? Okay. Or you go with options. Is this an innovation? See, innovation is a big word. Okay. In simple terms, I'll tell you what does innovation mean. Anything that helps you do the regular work faster in a better way is an innovation. It saves you 5 seconds uh, for every iteration. It's an innovation, right? Do that and keep at it. Do it consistently, so that you save a lot of time. And always think in terms of money and time. So that way you would achieve innovation. So Saurabh, I have
Okay,
answered all the questions, which is
we have a hand raised from Brijesh. Brijesh, would you like to ask your question?
Hey Ajay, this is Brijesh. Can you hear me?
yes. Nice to have you
Okay.
here.
First of all, a very good session. Congratulations on that one.
Thank you.
Secondly, I just wanted to share my experience because one of the things that I see as a stumble block for a lot of managers, and right now there was a question regarding it, is managing feedback within the team. So I also obviously have had this problem, and as my team kept growing, managing feedback became a problem. Meaning, if I give feedback to somebody, how is that person going to take it, or what is going to
Correct.
be
You
the
need
repercussion
to be
of that
very
feedback?
careful about how
Yeah.
people react.
Yes, absolutely. And then seeing one person react, what will the other people in the team think? And then when they give me some feedback, do I take it as they expect me to take it or not? So what I did in order to get rid of sort of my fear is to start a system called I called it as feed forward. So what I did was I made a rule in the team that everybody will give feedback to everybody else, not by speaking, and not by writing, but by typing. And we chose a particular font size so that you can't distinguish who is it that is giving you. So make the feedback anonymous. And then we had these glass boxes kept at everybody's desk, including mine, where people would type their feedback, take a printout, fold it up, and then put it there. And the person then reads it and then tries to understand. Okay, and in that feedback, obviously, you give the context that okay, in the meeting you said something like this, which I think should be rephrased, or maybe you can work on that skill or something like that. And over a period of time, the team started realizing that it is for their own benefit and it is for something that they can improve in the future. So that is why I called it feed forward, because it is a feedback that is given to you as a future thing to do. So
Right.
yeah, so and similarly, I also got feedback, and over a period of time, what I noticed is that the chits became lesser in number, and slowly people started doing it. And then there was a time when there were no feedback being relayed. People were so open and easy to talk to each other. They would simply take the other person, go by the coffee machine, sit, discuss anything, and then both of them will come back smiling. So this is my experience, and I wanted to share that. Okay, that is how you make sure that you're managing the feedback properly. It has worked for me successfully. I have done that for a long time, and I advise it to a lot of other people. So yeah, that's my experience that I wanted to share, Ajay.
Thank you, Brijesh. A good thing to try out in our teams as well, right? Saying feed forward, share it in the chat, and then let people read, and then maybe discuss.
Yeah.
Good. Thank you. So let me also show the last slide where there is a workshop on how to build high performing teams. And the link to that is this bit.ly/AJCLMGR. Okay. So it is on 16th May, where we are going to discuss more of this, more on the lines of what happened today, and also to how to build high performing teams. All of this is online workshop, 10 to 5 p.m. IST. If you are interested, please do register. And once again, thanks a lot for giving me a part of your life by attending this webinar. Thank you, Saurabh, Sneha, for organizing this. And yes, if
Thanks
are
a
there
lot,
any
Ajay.
questions?
Thanks a lot. Thanks for the wonderful session, and we are already getting a lot of comments and questions for this session. And it was a very interactive session. People were very participative, and we all kind of loved the whole overall session. Thanks for your time, taking out
Thank
time
you.
out of your weekend and contributing to our community. And just to let everyone know that, as just an extension to what you said, that we are doing a hands-on workshop on this on 16th May called How to Build High-Performing Teams. And for all the attendees uh, who attended today's webinar, there's a special discount of 30% that is being rolled out to them. The code for the promo is webinar, and you can see it on screen. So anyone who's interested, the link is on.
To register also.
Link is, so I'll share. Give me 1 second. But yeah, I mean, we ran a poll, Ajay, on. We just ran a poll on how what was people's feedback on how did they find today's webinar, and we got 90% around between great and good. So
Okay, thank you.
I think that answers collectively on how good the session was. And thanks a lot for your time. And thanks everyone for their time today. And we really would like to host another webinar next week, and see all of you next time. Thanks, Ajay. Thanks everyone.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.